Hi guys, AP here. AP Ashton is here. Today we're gonna be doing is a door garage animation. A roll up door. A roll up one. Um, so if you have seen it on Facebook already and you've been wondering, is it Mission Impossible? How did you even thought about it or whatever? Well, it was really hard for me to even just try to find the animation and just get just to try find it. I was even trying to find it for 3ds Max and Maya, and they are not even my tools. So I just say, let me just sit down in cinema and just figure it out. So here we go, and this is what we're going to be creating today. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up, we're going up, and then we're going back down, 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 down. Okay, so that's what we're gonna be basically creating today. So guys, let's get started. Okay, so let's hop inside Cinema 4D here. I already have some 3 basic colors, of course. And the first thing we want to do is we want to go to our right view. And we really need to start off with a pad. Because inside this video, of course, we're seeing it roll up. If I just continue on, it's basically rolling up on something. I'm going to just hide that. And see, I'm basically rolling it up on a pad. So some of y'all might actually know how to do this technique, but for the people who didn't even know about it, and hey, why not? So first thing first, let's continue on. So we're gonna go into the Spline tool here. Now if you don't know where to find this, guys, of course, go to create and go to Spline Helix. I hope I pronounced that right. If I did not pronounce that right, please put in a comment to tell me, shoot myself, say it properly, okay? So next we're gonna go to go inside your helix, go to attributes, and then go inside the properties, the object properties, and we're gonna tell it to be 0. And we're gonna get this nice little squirrely effect, right? So with this little squirrely effect, we're gonna tell it to even be 1, the end radius to be 1 meters. So, and don't forget, guys, I basically have my preference set in centimeters, but I'm actually working in centimeters, okay? Just to let you know that. So what we're gonna do for our end angle, we're just gonna keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until we think that this is good enough, and I feel like one more should do it, and then we want to end halfway. Well, right there, like 20. Yeah, see, 16, 20. Yeah, good. So once we then do that, what we need to do now, we need to pretty much move it out. So with this big, and this is why you might need to have your object. Everything you should have your object or your building to do this. So you could say, hey, I might have to make it more smaller, however you need it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make it as tall like that. I think that's good enough. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zoom in here. Pretty much gonna zoom in, and I'm gonna turn it into an editable spline. So to turn it into an editable spline, you could hit C on the keyboard, or you could hit the button here called Make Editable. So once you done do that, you might want to just rename this and just rename the pod. Just give a pod name, And sorry about that. So what we need to do, we need to go in point mode, and we need to select the last point, and we just need to bring it down. Just bring it down. Now, this might look like a long garage door, but that's good size. Yeah. But if you need to look at a video and see the different types, then you can go ahead. So we need to go back in our 3D view mode now, and now we have a beautiful spline. Yay! But one problem we did not do, guys. One little minor problem. We might need to go back and tell it to be 0. So let's go back. Let's just go back. It's not hard. So when you go back, you need to go to your weight, and you need to tell it to set it to 0. Your height. Sorry, not weight. height and turn it to 0. There you go. So now we could go back into our right view and just say, you know what, go back in your point mode, turn you to an editable object, and let's just select that last point again, and let's just bring it down. Yeah, there you go. So since we didn't do that, we now could pretty much just okay, go back to that 3D view mode now, and now we notice this is where our nice garage here is now. Nice. Alright, so now what we need to do, we need to make our plane. We need to make a plane. Now if you can't find plane, like I say, go to object and plane. Okay? Alright, so what we need to do is we need to make it stand up. So to make it stand up, we just need to go to I think it's plus Z. I think it's plus Z, yeah. And what we need to do, we need to make it look tall. So we're gonna go in object mode. We're gonna make it tall. There you go. There you go. There you go. And make it a little tall. Okay. And we're gonna make it wide. We're gonna make a nice wide garage door, right? Let's make a wide garage door. All right, nice. So since we did that, we now could pretty much take away a lot of this polygons by turning it down. I did it the wrong opposite way. So let's turn this up to like 30 or 40. 40 is good enough. 40 is good enough. 40. And we're gonna turn this down to 1. There you go. So we have that going on. All we need to do now is we need to group these two. Well, we don't need to group our pod. So let's just rename this back to pod, okay? Alright, there you go, our pod. So once we done do that, what we need to do next is we need to group and let's just don't group yet. Let's now get our oh yeah, let's go and get our deformer. So our deformer can be in 2 places, of course. If you hold down the bend, you have your deformers, and if you go to create deformers, and you're just gonna go and select spline warp. Now I know a lot of people might say, hey, we know this method and we know what it does now. I don't need to watch a tutorial no more or whatever. I see what you did just now. I mean, you know, that's what you choose to do. So gonna continue on. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna put our plane and our warp in a group together. And there you go. You notice, like, where the hell the thing went. So it's pretty much a part of that. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna actually put our plane on top of our warp. And since we have warp at the bottom, we want to put our pod in here. Now it's gonna do that. And you're wondering, then shoot, I should stick with a different direction. Well, so you can actually play with the axis here if you want. If you want to play with it, you know, do things like that and do things like that, and nothing works, right? Well, you don't need to go through that. You can put it back to your plus X, and all you need to do is just rotate your plane. That's all you need to do. Just rotate it to 90 degrees, and there you go. So yay, we having a beautiful animation, guys. And the problem is it's still a little chunky. Oh man, so we might need to use a little more polygons just to make it a little smoother. I think that's good enough. You know what, I'll just go back to 50. I think that's a little bit too much to me, if I am correct. 50 is good enough. 50, I think 50 is good enough. You know what, let's just keep it to 40. Let's just keep it to 40. I mean, nothing big. So what we could do now is we need to play with our parameters. So if we go into spline warp, we need to look at our to and our from. So do you want to go in a negative animation mode? No, you don't. So what we need to do is we need to see how much is going to warp. Oh, right there. So this is why too you need to have your model. So apparently I'd rather just say 50%. Yeah, 50% is good. So this is where you're going to be keyframing from, basically. So once you done do that, you can now you could play with this. Don't get me wrong. You can play with the to the from, okay? But your offset to is pretty much nice, because then now you have 0 to whatever. So if you want to play with it like that, you can go ahead. But if you want to actually just play with your to the from, then that's better. To. So what we're gonna do is then we're gonna play with our 2. I guess with the 2 is more better and more understandable. Okay. So 50 is pretty much your good thing, but I prefer moving with the offset, because sometimes you don't know how long you might have had this or how much you need to play. So you might want to really not animate that. So we're gonna play with our offset really. So if you don't understand that, you could ask me the question on that more later. Okay, you could message me on that. So what we're gonna do now, we are going to keyframe it to 90, and we're gonna say, yeah, we're gonna click here, just click, and it'll turn red, meaning you're animating just this parameter. And if you go to 0, you move it up. Oops, sorry. You move it to that point, which is 50. Then all you need to do is just hit don't hit the keyframe here, just hit the offset. Sorry, I got a little lost there for a second. I don't know why, but yeah, let's move on, because I am hogging up the time. So once you then do that, now we have our perfect animation. We can now actually turn this into an actual editable object. And to do that, we can now actually move our plane out of the group for a second. And yes, we're gonna have that. But let's just put it back in our group for 1 minute and go in polygon mode, turn it into an editable object. And we just need to select that there. And once we select that, we need to bring it back out. And we are going to extrude it. Now let me just check to make sure that I actually did it on the right side. Yes, I did. I did it on the right side. So that is like our little, our little friend there. Now I know I have a backup polygon, but I show you I should just use the extrude one time to get that out of the way. Or you close it up by using a close poly or something like that. So I mean, if you want to do it now, you can go ahead. Now since you already did this, pretty much, you can't go back and say, hey, how much lines I need to add to it, unless you keep extruding and adding more points or something like that. So once you done do that now, and if you want to check it with the animation, everything should work fine. Perfect. Nice. Alright, so once you done do that, all you need to do now is start building your frame. So I'm gonna do that quickly. Quickly build a frame, and we're gonna quickly move on to baking out our animation. So what I want to give this color, I want to give it a nice blue here. And what I want to do for the edge, really, I'm just going to take it back out. Just going to give it some color. I actually want to turn it that color. Hey, yeah, I like that color. There you go. I think I shouldn't do that. Let me redo that over. There you go. Alright, so I'll delete this one. Yeah, there you go. And I'm gonna bring it back into the group. Alright. Very nice. So now what we're gonna start modeling. So I'm just going to try this in here. This big. And I'm just going to move this up. Model this as fast as possible. Turn you into an editable object. And you might want to go in your right view for this, so you could actually really make sure this is lined up with your stuff. Right there, and about right there. Nice. Now I go back in my 3D view. Good. now I can pretty much just come back here, look at where this is, and then I go back into my right view, and then I extrude it out. Put right there, and then I go back in edge mode, and then I use a bevel. Go to my attributes, I'm just going to turn on my sub to 2. I think that's good enough. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to use Symmetry Tool. Now I'm not going to be doing the one where you actually have control of the next side. I will have that link in the description if you wanted to know how you could take control of the next symmetry side and have it as a complete object. I'll have that link in the description. What you want to do now is get your Symmetry Tool, and you want to bring it into your thing. I'm just gonna do the default one. I'm just gonna do the default one. All right, I'm not gonna do the flip animation and then have them things two separate. So I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna hit C on the keyboard, turn into one object. There you go. And once you done do that, now you can pretty much use the bridge tool. You can use the bridge tool and just dragging them to the next side, just like that. There you go. There you go. Just, I mean, I show you catch the gist of what I'm doing. So I know I don't have to do all of them. I don't have to do all of them. And there you go. And now this is our frame. Let's just rename it frame. There you go. So once we have frame now, we just need to go to our materials and just drag that on there. And there you go. So now we have this nice, beautiful animation, eh? Oh, that is so nice. That was very nice. Very nice. So if before you basically bake out anything, like I said, before you basically break it out, and that's why you need to actually have a backup of this whole thing, because say for example now you want to go back to your polygon and you actually want to put holes here or something like that. I mean, that is things that you think about your polygon. So sometimes you want to keep that in mind, okay? But you can pretty much just use a texture and actually just have a nice thing of texture onto it, so when it does roll up, it does give that illusion that so you could always just put an alpha texture with the windows on it on your texture, so you could see to the next side or whatever you're trying to do. Okay, so but just make a backup. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna make a whole backup of this. So we're just gonna group all of this and group it. We're gonna say main, and we're gonna duplicate main, and then we're just going to say backup. There you go. And we're gonna hide that one. Now, but the main one now is what we're gonna do is we're basically going to just bake the animation out now, since we pretty much satisfied of how everything looking. Everything looks smooth and fine and no issues, nothing like that. Nice. So once you then do that, now all we need to do is pretty much just copy these two, go into the timeline, and like I say, this layout and all that stuff, if you're trying to find this layout, of course all of this is pretty much inside the link in the description after you finish subscribing to me. Sorry about that, pronounced that word wrong just now. Once you done do that, all you need to do now is drag those two in, like I said, and then just go to functions, bake objects, and select all parameters and make sure all that check, and then just hit OK. And then you're wondering, hey Ashton, what's going on? It's doing something stupid. Well, that's pretty much easy to fix. It's just because seeing you have your WAP copy, which you do not need anymore. Oops, sorry, I did that wrong. Go back. Select that and delete that. I'm gonna hide my timeline now. And what you need to do, you need to just take your plain copy, backup, and you could pretty much delete all of this right here. You delete all of that right there, and now everything is fine. There you go. So with our mean, I don't like where our point is. You see, I don't like where that point is. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take these two out of the frame, delete that mean, and I'm just gonna get a new null, which basically in the base, on the base, you know, in the center of the project, pretty much at 0. And all I need to do now is call this our root. And once I then do that, all I need to do next is just pretty much just look into dragging these two into here. And there you go. So I can move this around and do whatever I needed to do. But moving around, I could even scale. So what you need to do for scaling is pretty much you need to go into the object with the little animation tag onto it right here. And you can now say, let me scale it down with ease, and animation still works. Nice. So I mean, that is the cool things you can pretty much do with it, and then just bake it out as well, export it out as a ABC, of course, or you can export it as a FBX, of course, 2016 or 2010. I mean, between that, because you know the Unreal Engine has its little issues, and you know, I think Unity should work fine too, and other engines according to what you use. So other than that, guys, other than that, that is pretty much it. I hope you basically enjoyed the tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe. Message me on my Facebook, of course. I hope the lounge will like this, the Cinema 4D Lounge and the Cinema 4D Maxon group. So I pretty much hope that this helped you out in any which way on how long you've been trying to figure out how to do a good garage or roll up door animation inside Cinema 4D, but using the spline WAP and stuff like that, and getting things to work the way you want it. So yeah, guys, once again, this is AP. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and thanks for watching.